luggage!
Oh, hell no!
So yes, it is time for the ultimate comparison. We are comparing Starfield versus Bethesda's other flagship franchises, including, you guessed it, Fallout. We're diving into Fallout 4 and a little bit into Fallout 76 and drawing comparisons there. Yes, we're looking at graphics and things like that, but also we're diving into Starfield versus, guess what, Skyrim, because there's some interesting crossovers happening there. And we're going to be talking about the graphics and, yes, the improvements with facial technology. It has come a long way since the older, I guess you would say, Bethesda titles. So a lot of cool stuff happening here, and we're going to dive into it right now. But remember, I'm running the ultimate Starfield Discord community. Tons of Starfield fans out there right now. If you want to join up, click the link in the description below. I will be there to literally say hello to you when you enter the Discord. So be sure to join up if you want to stay up to date. But I got a question for you all. Where are the cat people in Starfield? All right, let's get serious. Let's first of all start with the technology behind Starfield. Yes, we know the facial technology for Bethesda's previous titles, in my opinion, and I think a lot of people would agree with this, had a lot to be desired. They felt a little bit wooden and stiff, and there wasn't a lot of emotion behind their facial expressions. But let me tell you what, Starfield has come so far with this. Bethesda has made amazing leaps and strides with their facial technology and the actual skin tones and the texture work for the skin of these characters. It's very, very impressive. But if we keep going, here's some more examples of what we're going to be seeing from Starfield facial technology. And we will be seeing this improved upon, by the way, with Elder Scrolls 6. They have said they're going to be using this technology to keep improving it for their future franchises. And here's another character who we will be talking to about artifacts. Perhaps they can help us with our hunt with this mysterious artifact that we have to put together in Starfield. But yeah, at least it didn't end up like this right here. This is the immersive mod for Fallout 4. I remember I had a blast with this when it originally came out. You can do some absolutely crazy stuff with the faces, but I want to see more mods like this for Starfield. I can't wait for that, honestly. All right, so continuing onward, we got to talk about explosions. Yes, check out the fire effects in Fallout. As you can see right here, some really nice explosions going on in Fallout 4. We didn't get to see much fire effects or explosions from Starfield side of things, but we did get to see this here. This is one example of the fire, and poof, a little explosion right there. And we do get to see the jet propulsion system on this ship landing in right there as well. Yeah, so we have to talk about combat between Starfield versus Fallout and, of course, Skyrim. Right now, we're seeing Fallout 4 combat. And if you're familiar with this, you get a mix of real-time versus the VAT system. And yes, there is some stealth that can be experienced in Fallout 4 for sure, if that's the way you want to play it. But one thing that is missing from Starfield is the VAT system. It is nowhere to be found. And of course, that makes sense. It isn't Fallout, and they want to keep it unique. But let me know if you want to see some sort of system like this. Now, there are some interesting things that are going to be making it into, of course, Starfield from Skyrim. And yes, we are going to be getting melee combat in Starfield. We have not seen anything of that sort of gameplay style showcased in a demonstration where you go in and use melee weapons, knives, that sort of thing. But it is going to be in Starfield. Here's some proof for you all if you are wondering. If you go here to the character creation screen right here and we highlight the chef starting skills, you have dueling. It says melee weapons do 10% more damage, as you can see. So that is going to be an option as you go on your adventures in Starfield. So that is really, really cool to know. Now back to Starfield combat. As you can see here, we have some rankings pop up for the enemies. So you are told what level they will be as you head into combat. So that does indicate if you're facing off against enemies that are too high of a level or something like that. But you notice something very different compared to, of course, Fallout 4 and even Skyrim, is the combat to me looks a lot more fast-paced and a lot more fluid, at least in my mind. Now, this apparently was running at 30 frames per second 4K, and I'm hoping for a performance mode option for this game at 60 frames per second. So I think some of the chunkiness will go away if you turn on the performance mode. I'm crossing my fingers that is actually the case. In the lower left corner, you have the oxygen and CO2. This is actually acting as your stamina as you run around the battlefield as well. So it's something you have to watch out for. Now, one major difference from Fallout 4 and Skyrim when it comes to Starfield combat is, guess what? You can have space combat. So that is one of the key differences here between all of it is, yes, you can experience dogfighting in space and do some amazing stuff here, as you can see. And yeah, craft your own spaceship as well. So that is a huge difference, massive difference from, of course, Skyrim and Fallout. Now, we got to talk about something that has been seen somewhat in the trailer for Starfield, and that is third-person perspective. And we know that it hasn't worked that well in previous Bethesda titles, and they've really said that they fine-tuned this as they keep going. The primary way to, of course, play Starfield is going to be first-person perspective, but we've seen it in Bethesda games where, hey, you can at least see your character running around during exploration. But yeah, they showcase some shots here with Starfield, which look really, really cool from third-person perspective. So this gives us a reason to go out there in the world, collect things, and most importantly, change up our outfit and our spacesuit, and we can finally, really experience it by seeing it from third-person perspective. But that's not all. We also got to see a little bit of third-person perspective action going on, and it looks actually really, really good. In fact, there is zero gravity gunfights going on here as well as you go through your adventures in Starfield. But I'm wondering about this one. Are we going to be getting pets in Starfield? We had a dog in Fallout. I think it would be so cool if we got something in Starfield. And there is actually some teases to this, perhaps, because the official concept art for Starfield shows this right here. Check it out. A cat roaming around, it looks like your space station or base here. And it looks like this character here perhaps has a daughter. Now, I don't know if this is alluding to the fact that we could potentially have a family in Starfield, but that would definitely be interesting. I'm totally speculating on that one, but perhaps pets would be a thing. So maybe, just maybe, cats will actually end up in Starfield. Hey, it could be possible. Now, we've got to take a look at some more mechanics here as well, because lockpicking has been a part of Skyrim Starfield for a long time. Skyrim and Fallout for a long time, but it is coming to Starfield in its own way. You have digipicks here, and we have 15 of them that we are using right now in Starfield. And it's a different system, of course, but it looks pretty straightforward. Now, this is just the novice system, and we're getting into some really cool loot here. But yeah, it looks like lockpicking is going to be a part of your repertoire in Starfield for sure. Now, I know a lot of you are wondering, will there be full-blown modding support for Starfield? And yes, it is confirmed. Check this quote out right here, straight from Bethesda. It says, "Our plan is to have full mod support like our previous games. Our modding community has been with us for 20 years. We love what they do and hope to see more make a career out of it," which tells me that potentially we could also see the Creation Club returning in some way, shape, or form in Starfield. Honestly, I would be expecting Creation Club, whether you like it or not, to be coming to Starfield for sure, since they say that modders could potentially have a career. Now, if we keep on going, we're going to talk about character creation. It's a hallmark of all Bethesda games, pretty much, where you go in there and edit your character. And yeah, there's some cool stuff they did with Skyrim, in my opinion, with kind of like choosing your race, and that influences certain abilities that you get or certain resistances. And they're doing something somewhat similar in Starfield, because we have backgrounds now, which gives us certain starting skills. And then we also have traits, which can either give us access to certain parts of the world in Starfield. And also, get this, those traits can even close off certain areas in Starfield. So that's going to add to the replayability, of Starfield for sure. But there's a lot of options, and I'm curious about this alien DNA trait. That's the one I am mostly curious about right now, but some cool stuff for sure happening with Starfield character creator. But, you know, Fallout traditionally have this system where you put points in between strength, perception, endurance, charisma, intelligence, agility, and luck. And then, of course, you have different perks within those skills and then ranks for those perks. And yes, it's going to be somewhat similar for Starfield as well. As you can see, we have different skills separated into physical, social, combat, science, and tech. And within those, we have perks. And those perks also have their own ranks. And it's interesting because you can upgrade each perk through this rank system. But the way it works is that it is similar, in my opinion, to Skyrim. You have to go out into the world. If you use, for example, handguns, you're going to begin upgrading them automatically by taking on the challenges within that perk. So if it says, hey, go out there, kill 100 Crimson Fleet pirates with a handgun, that's going to be part of upgrading that rank for that handgun perk, and so on and so forth for all the perks that you can actually obtain. But yeah, it seems very similar to more Skyrim, in my opinion, than Fallout, in that they want you to actually feel rewarded for just simply playing the game. And honestly, I absolutely love that about Skyrim. You can even get rewarded for being in conversations, negotiating, and things like that. And I'm crossing my fingers that this all carries over nicely into Starfield as well. Now, Starfield's also going to have some elements from Fallout 4 and Fallout 76, and that is base building as well as ship building. And you're going to be able to do that in Starfield and extend your personality into the actual world. It is so freaking awesome. I'm excited to actually go out into the world and hire crew members to help me run my spaceship. So companions are going to be a part of this game. We've seen companions in, of course, previous games like Fallout 4 and Skyrim, Fallout 76, that sort of thing. But yes, companions are going to be a key component to your experience in Starfield. All right, so there it is, Starfield versus our favorite Bethesda franchises. And let me tell you what, I'm honestly super hyped for this one. I cannot wait. Remember, join my Ultimate Starfield Discord in the description below if you want to hang out with fellow Starfield fans. Stay absolutely up to date on all things Starfield. Check out the link in the description below. I hope to see you all there. But thank you all so much for watching. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. And I will see you all next time. Take care.